The thing that freaks me out with all the shit that's going on in hip hop is in this weird space, right? Where back when I first started listening to hip hop when I was younger, just beefing with a nigga captured the imagination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you was, verbally sparring with somebody or the idea y'all was beefing, that was enough to promote it to the, to the front of hip hop. Like everybody wanted to see that because hip hop used to allow, the public to capture them. It would capture the imagination. Like, oh, if these two guys seen each other, it'd be on. Whether, all of the New York stuff that was going on the West Coast, it might have been NWA versus the Police, and then it was Ice Cube versus NWA. Then it was Dr. Dre versus Eazy-E. And that's all you needed. Ice Cube versus Ruthless. And, you might have heard about a skirmish. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit of Quick and 8.
Yeah, like at the Jack the Ripper. The imagination, like, you imagine what would happen if these guys got into it with each other. You know what I mean? And that was all the marketing you needed to be at the front of hip hop. And I think now, in 2022, we looking at what happened with Dolph. And, obviously you get the onslaught of people posting his pictures, talking about his music, talking about his contribution to the community because he passed away. But what freaks me the fuck out is people seem like they're surprised. Like, I can't believe this happened to Dolph.
Are they being serious,
we need to change this. We need to, we need to alter what's going on because, people is losing their lives. And I'm thinking like, this is the 4th time, I think that's the correct number, they made an attempt on Dolph's life, right? So it was a time he was
They're not very good, but they're persistent.
Yeah, it was sometime he was in the Carolinas. They put 100 shots into a bulletproof truck that he was in.
Yeah. About which he did a song.
Yeah, something happened in Memphis, and then he got shot out here in LA. And I just thought that was crazy. Like people just so surprised and like, oh, and I'm like, well, what if as a culture we intervened when they put the 100 shots into his truck? Like we all know
intervene as a culture into something like that.
Yeah. Like because we all knew exactly who he was beefing with. They was making a beef public. So literally hip hop as a collective, right? Whether it's Yo Gotti at the top of it, because in in Tennessee and Memphis, you think about Yo Gotti, you think about 3 6 Mafia, 8 and MJG, Buck. You think of all the veterans. Not to mention you got Outkast, T.I., all the rest of the people from the South, and then all the rest of us in hip hop. We could literally come and say, "Hey, man, y'all gotta calm this shit down." I mean, it could be some shit, but if the whole culture, because there's so much street, politics within the culture, like where I don't care where you're from, eventually you got to respect the whole culture stepping forward saying, hey man, y'all got to kind of calm down, like with all this extra shit y'all shooting at each other and shit. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen because you're going to fuck up the money. So we don't get to this point where it's like, oh, I can't believe what happened to Dolph. I can't believe it. It's like all the other stuff didn't even matter until at this point now that he died.
Do you think that people, even goofy girls on Instagram, do you think people honestly can't believe that happened?
Yes, they cannot believe that it happened.
What's wrong with those people?
I have no clue.
Like, you can't believe that happened?
When folks start getting a certain amount of money, and people start liking you, they man, I haven't heard one song of the dude saying nothing cool. And I just started really listening to his music. The music I was hearing, he like, fuck you. And if I catch you, I'm gonna blow your head off.
He had beef with Gotti. He had diss on Gotti. He had beef and back and forth with Project Pat before. Yeah. He seemed like he antagonized.
I wasn't surprised at all. Not even a little bit.
Well,
when you start liking people when they got that money, you forgot all that. You was like, oh, he was a community activist.
Was he a hood dude, like with the shits like that, or was he just kind of like a rapper and a guy?
From the people I know, they say he was pretty legit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what type of trooper he was, but everybody I know said he was a pretty legit dude. But even to the point where right after he got shot in Hollywood or right after the Carolina shooting, he made an album and the track listing, like he was talking to the shooters, like antagonizing the motherfucker shooting.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not trying to tell no nigga how to deal with they shit, right? But I just look at us as a community, right? And then I say, damn, like, I'm not the one to try to intervene in wars. And, I'm not trying to, all the peace. I'm not, because I don't know what niggas really arguing over. I don't know what the beef is over. So I'm really careful with how I get in the middle of another nigga shit. Like, some shit worth shooting a nigga. But
I'll tell somebody, maybe you shouldn't go to a location like that. I just looked at where it was and I'm like, it was right, really? Like, you went to that parking lot right there, solo, in that car.
And he wasn't solo.
Right by all them apartment buildings that I know those buildings from property looking. Like, I know that community.
And I know it too. And that's what's funny is he wasn't by himself, but it don't matter.
You got a Lambo with a wrap on it. It's like that car, you couldn't mistake that car in 4 states from that location.
Hands down, if I see it,
right.
If we got an issue, or if my crew and your crew got an issue, and you and that motherfucker, right?
Right.
I'm going to see you in traffic, and when I see you in traffic, if I'm on, if I'm heated, all I gotta do is wait for my opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So hold up. No ceilings. GL, my man Peter and the Spiznot. We got Uncle Mook. Back up on this motherfucker once again. You know what I mean? Our resident guest who pops in and out, feel me, on this conversation right here. Okay, so we get to it. Look, if you in the streets, right, you know how this thing go, especially if you screaming war, like, you know how this thing go. So I'm not, rest in peace to Dolph. I'm just looking at us as a community, how everybody's posting this picture, how other rappers is posting a nigga picture. You know what I mean? They talking about his music, his quotes, his contribution to the community. Oh, he bought a house, a house for every one of his children. He bought a house every year for his children. Like, if you knew this brother was such a positive influence, right? This nigga was on like that.
Yeah.
Why didn't, all of these legendary rappers posting this picture, talking great? Why did we not intercede as a community and say, hey, when they put the 100 shots in a nigga truck, who the fuck puts 100 shots in a nigga truck? And how do you make a rap? I can't make a rap album if a nigga put 100 shots in my truck. Somebody got to get killed, or I need to squash this because this ain't what I want.
Yeah,
I need to come sit down. Hey, we need to find an amicable solution
because I'm trying to still do shit.
I got to do what I got to do for my family. You feel me? But if I'm going to antagonize you, for sure, a lot of people got to get killed.
And it's cracking.
100 shots in my shit.
They wasn't trying to miss.
They for sure wasn't trying to miss. And then they shot cuz.
Yeah.
They shot him already. And we all watched this shit happen. It's not making the front headlines like Biggie and Pac was at the time, or Eazy and Ruthless, or Dre and Eazy, like where that shit was making the front page, or the news, the beef, Pac and all this shit making the front page. Now it's on the underground circuit of the news, where you might be on TMZ, but it's not on Channel 7.
Right.
But if the whole culture and every legend that we all look up to and all of us, you know what I'm saying, if we all want to rest in peace and talk about the type of nigga he was, why the fuck did we not get in the motherfucking middle of this shit and say, hey, cuz, like, because the niggas who he, you know, they going at it with, I'm not sure if these people are responsible for his death, but because this is the third or fourth time that the other 3 times was these same niggas,
right?
I might be
y'all niggas need to sit down, man,
into thinking that this was them the 4th time.
Yeah.
So why are we not as a community? Because these niggas all got to come out here. So my thing is, we have like the culture that is hip hop has say in other places, because nigga, you got to come out and get some money, and we all tied into the streets out here. So literally, we could have sat niggas down and say, hey, cuz, like, all that y'all shooting at each other, we not finna do this Biggie Pac shit again. We not finna do that again.
Or you're not gonna come to my studio and record and get me fucking shot up.
You said who?
Or you're not gonna come to my studio in Hollywood and record and get me fucking shot up for being next to you.
Yeah, that's not what I'm worried about, because a nigga wouldn't even bring that energy into our realm. You know, forgive me for the
maybe not you, confidence. But like Joe producer.
But I'm saying us, like the streets.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't even, if we think the world of this brother, like if we think the world of this brother in this particular situation where it was a public beef, where niggas was getting shot at and all this, why are we not interceding? That's a mistake I think we're making, or it's disingenuous to post this person and say rest in peace and, you know, capitalize off of him dying and just creating it and making social media content out of it, acting like you really fuck with somebody. If we really fuck with our peers and the niggas that's in this business, eventually we got to stand up and do something about certain things when it get to this level. Because this shit has been lingering. That particular situation had been lingering, cuz, for like 3-4 years. And it probably started before, but I've been aware of it publicly for 3 or 4 years, since 2018.
It's at this point where it would be like if somebody is affiliated with like CML, you know, next to Mozzie. Everyone, like, oh my God, I can't believe Mozzie. Like,
exactly.
Fuck out of here.
And that's different, right? Because D&M ain't necessarily in the business. No, Lavish and them still underground niggas. Like Mozzie is kind of
okay.
You get what I'm saying?
The alleged perpetrators of this, unless it's like, is it the young kids? Whatever I see posted.
See, that's the thing. I'm betting it's not the rapper at this point, or it's not the niggas he had beef with at that level. They don't have to say, hey, go out here and go do that. Niggas know what's on.
Niggas do that for free.
Yeah, niggas know what's on. Niggas know what's on.
Yeah, it's
so like the dudes in Sac, there's like what 26 people been killed between those two hoods over the last like several years. Like,
but that's different because Lavish and them is still caught up in the streets trying to make a transition. Yeah. So it would be a conversation with one person. It ain't like Dolph shit is like 2 successful entities at the highest levels of you know what I mean, in hip hop, versus Mozzie and D trying to get into the business, and niggas not gonna fuck with D because they fuck with Mozzie. So it's still the streets versus a rapper. That's something you can't really even. All niggas can really do is sit down with Mozzie, and if they wanted to, and be like, man, Mozzie, you need to figure this out. Which that ain't how the streets work. But when it's like, you know, 2 successful rappers, like we was watching it happen, like we see it what's going on with NBA, with Young Boy, and what's going on with Dirk. So now that done already claimed a life. You know, it's you see it happening with 2 high level people where it's enough people to intercede, because no matter who you is, I don't give a fuck if you the realest rap nigga in the world that's on some street shit. You got to go to all our towns to get some money.
Yeah.
You can't not go to our towns to get some money. So niggas could have some say.
Right.
I always felt like with the black church, the mistake it was making, right, was church should be a community center. It ain't necessarily, they call it a house of worship, you know, where you're supposed to praise God. But praising God is actually doing right by other human beings too. So if it's a community center and everybody, let's say off 117, go to this one church. My whole life, it was people that worked in the community. We talked about this before that had great jobs. It wasn't a ton, but it might have been 3 or 4 who've been living there for years. And nobody knew that this man worked at Edison for all of these years because he looked at us as like hoodlums and he didn't want us in front of his house. And so it wasn't a real relationship. He used to go to church, but he went to church 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. So if we all went to the same church, that person could pass on resources. Like a whole church is supposed to, you know, share the community's resources.
Like, you know, when you go to Louisiana, and I haven't read up on this, but it struck me like they're French Catholic. You know, that's like the history of Louisiana, and the areas are called parishes. Well, like a Catholic church community is called a parish, and when there weren't a lot of different religions in an area, your parish was your one community church. So like in old Italy, old Sicily, like where my old family was from, there was like there was one church, like what we see with the Mormons. They have wards. You know, like the one church is for the whole neighborhood within a square mile or whatever the hell, or in Utah within 600 yards because that's 1,000 people. But you know, it's kind of like that, and it's the same way. It does exist in places.
With Jewish temples out here.
Exactly.
You have to go to the temple that's located in the area. Like you don't have a right to just go to any fucking temple. You like Rabbi Johnson and you like, I'm gonna rap. No, nigga, you don't have that because it ain't about the rabbi you like. It's about the community, you know, that you're a part of. And you know, whether you like the rabbi or not, this is your community center. This is your temple. And I think that's the issue with the Black community. But I always felt like that's why the Black church lost say in the neighborhood because they don't have influence. They're not doing right by the people there. So many people go to different places. So no different in hip hop with rappers. Huh?
I will say, I think to some degree also there's a little bit of, and I don't want to put that on like the preachers who run it, the churches, but it's not one singular. Like the Jewish church is like you have franchises, so to speak. So it's a little bit more
like the Catholic
coordinated.
Church.
Similarly, yeah. Whereas it's a little bit more free market, you know, in the Black church because you can open up a Zion temple or whatever. You can open up AME, or you can open up the Baptist Church of 3rd Street. Like as long as you get people to go and spend money, then you're good.
And that's the same thing, though. The point I was saying. And to even build off that is we have that say in hip hop with everybody involved with it. We have that say. We have that say. We can say, hey, look, y'all niggas need to figure this out. Nigga, if y'all don't, as a community, y'all not finna get no money out here. That's just stopping.
Yeah.
Because
LA is kind of the Vatican to music.
Or if not New York, it's close enough. It's for sure the Vatican to entertainment to some degree. So I just think that shit is weird. You know what I mean? Where we constantly watching these rappers go through this shit. And it's like now people are saying being a rapper is like this dangerous job. And I'm like, not really. You know, it's only dangerous when you're trying to be more than just a rapper. When you're trying to be a gangbanger and a rapper. It's like being a drug dealer and a rapper, right?
Yeah.
A drug dealer and a gang member. Right, it's a tough mix because you're gonna have to do business with all kind of different characters from different places. You're gonna have to do business with different people. So,
save one very high-profile incident for all the rappers and all the gang culture and all the stuff that goes on in LA. For by and large, there's really not that I can think of a lot of rappers that got killed over various like hood beefs in LA history. Just given the scale, you'd think there'd be 150, you know, in 25 years. There's like 4, maybe tops, you know, whereas like he was like half of the guys who ever recorded with Screw got killed. You know, that's ridiculous. They took out like half of all of them. But in other cities, you know, similarly, a lot of guys get shot in other parts of the country. Is there like something to say that like the structural element in LA, like you and YG or whatever, there wasn't like anything spun off out of, you know, the incidental proximity there or other people or anything like that, you know?
Yeah. But even for me, it's different, right? As a rapper, like if I got into a YG, I fuck with a lot of YG older homies. I fuck with a lot of YG homies his age. You know, niggas I've been knowing they was young. So,
but that's like a thing I was talking about, the structure of LA. There's like lineage, whereas like other parts of the country, it's just like a group of, like there's not an intergenerational type of stuff like that.
It kind of is still. It kind of, it don't seem like it is, but it is. Like it's very much.
I just think a lot of the G dudes that's in the game is just what you said. They disingenuine. It's not all of that, you know, that love that they really portraying. They got some type of bag on their mind when they dealing with these youngsters and the new, you know, the new generation of rap and seeing, oh, okay, well, Young Dolph, he kind of bring this a lot of money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Yo Gotti bring a lot of money, man. If I could do a collaboration possibly with them at some point, stay a little relevant on both sides. I think everybody just trying to, they play in the middle, and it ain't that big of a deal. Like they try to make it after now the nigga dead. You know, the nigga done got killed. Now they want to post him up and, oh man, he was this great dude and this, that. And I ain't saying he wasn't a great dude because I don't know him. I'm just talking about the disingenuineness, if that's a word, of what the older cats is doing, or the cats that been in it long, or the bigger name cats, whatever the case may be. I don't think it's as genuine as they trying to portray it when they messing with these dudes. So now when these dudes, you know, they know about beefs, they know what's going on, they know they probably should have been spoke on it. I seen a little interview when your boy, when he got on Drink Champs. And I seen Noriega like, hey man, you know, y'all you probably need to just chill, man. I mean, you know, you got to be out that area. You can't be hanging out like that. And I wasn't too sure if he knew what was going on, but I think he was just spitting some regular, what he feel to be some OG spit. I feel that was genuine because I don't think he cares about rapping that now or trying to get on tapes with nobody. He just saying, you know, I've been hearing about this shit.
But my thing is, even with that shit, like, I'm not saying it should be left up to one legend or one peer or one something. As a community, once we see somebody's life is truly in danger, sometimes you don't get that because it could be the first incident and then it's over, right? But where the incident is heating up and now people are getting hurt and shot over it, and there's two mainstream entities or entities that's moving around the country to collect checks, like, we all network with each other. I network with Dog. I network with, you know, Noriega. I network with Fat Joe. I network with, feel me, Scarface and different people. I fellowship with a lot of my elders and even my peers. So it shouldn't be in the hands. Like, I can't look at Pat or Juice or Paul and say, hey, this is your responsibility, especially when it's that high profile between two successful entities.
I think a lot of niggas is looking at the shit on the regular street level because they possibly came from the streets as well. Like, shit, y'all young niggas gonna figure it out how we had to figure it out. We went through this shit. Y'all got to go through that shit. Or we felt we was going through this shit, so y'all got to go through this shit, or y'all got to figure it out on y'all own too.
And that's evil, right?
Yeah.
So
today I just think that's what's cracking.
You're probably right. Today I had this super brilliant stream of consciousness, right? It's like this idea that came to me. The most innate godly thing you could do is teach. You know, like the only responsibility of a single cell is to pass information. And people gonna hear that and they gonna think of 1,000 things. Oh, well, somebody tell you the wrong thing. That's misinforming. That's misinformation. Information is specific. So,
but that's learning. I mean, learning is defined by error,
right? So, but I'm saying somebody pass you. I'm saying our jobs is we can't sit back and say, you know, one thing I respect about me and the dudes I came up with, Head, Tommy Salas, you know, anybody to me who was paying attention to everything we was learning, even my older brother and everybody, we try to give everybody the information that we learn, that we know is to be true. We don't have to have no vested interest in you. It don't got to be no money. If you talk to Head and you ask Head if you can get Head somewhere, and you say, hey man, like what am I doing wrong with records? If you play him your records, he'll give you the information that he can about what has worked successfully 95% of the time. Now, sometimes people don't want to accept that, but he tries his best to teach. You know, and that's why I say today I called him, literally was telling him, like, man, I love you, little bro. Like, because he's somebody to me who struggles with a lot of rappers where trying to teach them and it's like they think they know.
Yeah.
And, you know, they didn't, like, we got bruises on our head from learning this shit. Yeah. And we watching people have success, right? Earn a living, but they're not at their pinnacle. You're not at the peak of where you could be if you knew the shit we could tell you, because then you could flip it and make it yours. But for him to teach me, he had to try a couple times. It wasn't simple. The one lesson he gave me that helped me change the trajectory of where I was going to finish at in my career. Like where I was going to finish at in my career before he gave me the information, I was going to be one of them niggas who made a living. Made millions of dollars over, 20 years, maybe $3-4 million over 20 years, $2-3 million over 20 years. Cool, cool. Because he fought to teach me as a rapper, he fought. Oh man, I'm gonna keep trying to get you to the point where he had to make fun of me for me to finally receive the information in the studio. It changed my trajectory to where, this is a situation I probably end up making $10 or $20, $30 million in that same amount of time because he got to me. So it can't be like, we can't just be okay with the OGs like withholding information.
Yeah.
But that's not right on us.
It ain't right, but it's just like you said. So bumping your head, you say a nigga had to stay consistent and persistent to even keep giving you that information, let alone it had to be a nigga that you liked, let alone it had to be a nigga that you was going to be receptive to. So now these young niggas, not even young niggas, old niggas, all niggas do this.
Grown ups.
Yeah, but all niggas, depending on where their brain is and where their reception is gonna be, they gotta have that same balance too on who talking to them.
But
so it can't just be you gonna tell me I ain't gonna get no money, because this would have happened. Even if you look at a nigga, I don't know him, I like him though, but I feel he's this type of nigga that'll do this. But Kodak Black, you tell that nigga he ain't gonna make no money in LA, guess what he gonna say? Well, fuck it, I'm gonna come to LA.
But again, even in that situation, right? Like my range ain't just here.
Yeah, but I'm saying
or just with the G's here. Like this could also mean you ain't gonna get no money because of the niggas I fuck with in Louisiana. This is you might not get no money with the niggas I fuck with in Michigan. Like as a community, we got to protect these young men from themselves sometimes.
But you already know the same. Like I just said, a nigga had to tell you that over and over. Imagine the nigga feel he got range too. Nigga, I got range too. This how these niggas think.
But if he got range, then he gonna be talking to the people, and the people got to tell him, hey, we got to protect you from losing your life or getting yourself put in prison. You got to realize.
But where your testosterone at the time when you getting this information? Because see,
it don't matter.
Depending on how you feeling when a nigga telling you that, it's like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because depending on who you talking to.
Sure, niggas can have that attitude, but eventually you the baddest nigga in the world. When you see enough badass niggas, you just, as long as you okay with just dying, that's cool. But most men, obviously, even in their highest testosterone level, don't want to just die. They just sometimes think they can size up or overcome the odds until they look at the odds and see it's not overcomable. We as a community got to protect young men from themselves. Now, we don't got to censor what they doing.
I agree.
But in that situation where it's these two high-level entities,
you
know what I mean, going at it and fucking each other up and shit like that.
I agree.
Like, as a culture, if we're going to post pictures of niggas dead and talk about their successes and try to celebrate them, how did we not as a community try to preserve his life? Because we watched this shit play out over years where it became obvious that it was going to be a deadly situation.
I think some people feel like when you talking to brick walls, or you think these niggas is in spaces that you can't reach them anyway, niggas put their hands up. Like, fuck it. Y'all go ahead on and go at it.
But that's that. But again, to not teach, right? And you know better is exactly what evil is about.
But see, some people might feel like, okay, if I said a nigga head could have sat you down at one time and said, I did my best right there. I mean, but I tried.
I'm not saying that, right? And that's different for me, right? Because this ain't threatening my life. He did something that was actually for my benefit of my livelihood. This ain't even like living.
I mean, I'm saying though, these young niggas, they coming from the streets too. So they life was on the line 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, but that's eventually it come to a space to where none of that shit don't mean nothing if our job as a community is to make sure you alive and you don't fuck up the money for all of us.
Yeah, well, but man, I just think that's a tough job because
I mean, shit, the job is tough. It's tough.
You know
it's tough being a young black millionaire and having opportunity. I finally made grown man. I'm finally a grown man.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying if Snoop, so we had a movement going on when I first got in the game. Me and a lot of young rappers, right?
Yeah.
Me, Bishop, Mike Stroh, J-Rock, Nip, a lot of us.
Yeah.
We had a movement called the New West because we felt like a lot of legends was withholding information. Mm-hmm. They wasn't willing to help us and assist us in trying to change our life from out of the streets.
Yeah.
You know, why they did it is a whole nother reason. But again, now I realize as of today, that actually is being evil. Now, maybe your trauma is forcing you to be that way, but it's evil, right? So immediately my natural spirit, before I even knew what it was rebelling against it.
Right.
It was rebelling like, yeah, I'm not with that. That's right. Out because I'm not, fuck y'all. Whatever y'all got going on, we not fucking with y'all. We're going to do our own thing. But if they would have all came together as a collective, whether it was Snoop, Cube, Dub, Mac, Ice-T, Exhibit, Dr. Dre. He said, hey, man, we're going to have a conference. We need to get to the bottom of this. We need to stop this. We are all a part of the same cultural, revolution of things that's happening. We need to sit y'all down and explain to y'all this is what's wrong. But they never did. And I thank God every day it never got serious. Like, niggas could have really got shot because, like, we was on some shit. Nigga, we was trying to change our life, nigga, and y'all not gonna help us, nigga, we gonna eat you. Nigga, we gonna take your plate because that's how desperate we were to get out of the streets of selling dope and we wanted to earn a living and create for ourselves. But if they would have came as a collective, I don't care the roughest versions of us. Even if you turn out, if it's 15 of us and you turn out 12 of us, the 3 of us is different. I mean, but you have to put effort to teach. And if you don't, that's exactly what being evil is. To not pass information as a cell means you're worthless. And
did you think?
And you're not working with the complete rest of the organism that make up a body or a living thing.
So the flip side is with these niggas, all them niggas you name, they got information, but they got projects and they got shit they doing too. They don't have that.
This is their responsibility too. You don't see, just like as a father, right? You're a father.
Yeah.
Just because you got your own shit going on don't mean you ain't responsible for mad.
Right.
That's your fucking responsibility. And it ain't just because you busted a nut in some lady.
Right.
That's insufficient. Like, and I get that you can see him and see yourself, so you naturally feel inclined to pass yourself information. That's a big part.
Yeah.
But eventually it has to become bigger than just your own personal motives. And you have to feel responsible for people that come up through the same culture. And if you don't, eventually your shit should be sliced anyway.
Well, that's why I work with the youth.
Yeah, no.
Me
obviously,
personally.
I'm just, yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, just on their side, it's like, I could just see a nigga, man. I could see them saying, I'm gonna try to give a nigga the game. You niggas is out here wild though, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I remember when I was wild, I just feel like how them niggas, when them niggas straightened up, not all them niggas, but some of them niggas straightened up when they made it through some bullshit where they livelihood was on the line and they made it through. Like, oh, we got to do that. Then that's when they brain all of a sudden switch rims. So I think some of these older niggas be feeling like they possibly, whether it be talk to the nigga 15, 20 minutes at this show or this, or I tried to get him on a song one time, or when I did talk to him and I had him in the song, I told him this, and this. But that nigga just like I was when I went through whoop, 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 and I didn't straighten up until this. But so maybe that nigga needs to learn that.
Yeah, but while I understand experience is the best teacher,
yeah,
that don't give you the right to not teach. Now, somebody not to learn is different. A cell rejecting information is a complicated thing because it can be rooted in trauma. But a cell not passing information means you're a worthless cell.
Well, I feel like shit. Like I say, half the shit I've been seeing, like I didn't know, I'm not too familiar with the dude like that. Like I say, y'all had to kind of put me up on some of his shit. But the shit I was seeing, like I said, I see some people seem to be reaching out in certain ways.
My thing is, have some people spoke to them about it? I'd imagine so. But did the whole community, as a hip hop community, decide to come together and make a concerted effort to make sure Dolph was alive? No. And we got the opportunity to see the threats on his life. Like sometimes we don't get to see it, but we saw this shit play out for years, and hip hop never made a concerted effort, right, to make sure that this man was going to be alive to take care of that wife and them kids, or be there for his family, or be there for his community. We never intervened as a whole culture, east to west, south to midwest, up top. You know what I'm saying? We never did. So it has to be disingenuous if you posting shit on a nigga and you were aware of this situation the whole time. Like how genuine, like how badly did you really want to, how sad are you really? Are you sad because you didn't do anything to make sure that this nigga, did you do anything to protect this young man from losing his life? Like, did we do anything as a community to show him we loved him? The one thing you could do with love means to preserve life. You know what I mean? That's the catch.
Yeah.
So to truly love somebody, it's the way you treat your kid. You're trying to preserve his life.
Yeah.
So you do everything to preserve his life, even give your own life. That's the true sign of love.
So, well, it definitely then is disingenuous what's going on around the globe.
Because look at every post. Every nigga posted pictures of cousin. And did y'all ever come as a community and sit down and say, hey, man, did you make the calls and did you try and get rejected? I don't think niggas even tried and got rejected. I think we're so comfortable in the space of, you know, them niggas got that going on, this, that. And this situation crazy because niggas actually was getting shot at, and we all knew it for years.
Yeah.
So this was like one of the craziest situations that was obvious.
Nigga, they probably staying the fuck out of it. Like, nigga, don't shoot me.
Yeah, but that's some bitch shit because I don't know what gun you got. Yeah.
I'm just saying, man.
I don't give a fuck who got what. Nigga still got as many or more.
I mean, that's the truth. But you know, these other niggas, man, I don't know. Like certain names. I mean, shit, niggas was willing to do commercials on Crime Stoppers, nigga, to stay out of jail.
Yeah, but
so even a nigga I'm cool to don't shoot at me. I ain't getting in that right now.
Even a nigga like
I'm at a certain point in my life. I ain't got to get into that type of shit right now.
That's not enough. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable that you scared of the situation. So it's like, oh, well, you know what? I got my own problem. No, champ. We made you have your problems. Yeah. See, a lot of niggas scream they self-made. No nigga self-made, bitch. We made all y'all.
Yeah.
We bought all y'all records. Ain't no nigga self-made. We made you.
Yeah, real talk.
You know what I mean? We supported you. We spend money on your shit. So if nothing else, you owe the community your best. That's not to say you got to give them all your money, but goddamn, if you can't pass information, if you can't pass information, you can't do the one single purpose of a sale. Hey, man, y'all need to get this. And I'm not sure Tip didn't. I would like to believe Tip talked to Dolph and said, hey, man, y'all probably should just hope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not just him. I mean, Tip could call. Tip got reach out here. Tip reach in the Midwest. Tip got reach in the East Coast. He could literally set up and say, hey, this shit get too serious. These niggas finna kill each other and fuck with the money. They finna fuck with the money. And every time this happens, it fucks with the money.
So what does it look like then? Like, all right, Tip saying like, no, we just using Tip because that's where we went. But so if Tip was to say, hey man, y'all tripping, pop, I'm trying to sit down with you. That ain't working. I got to slow some of y'all bread up, homie, because y'all doing too much. So what's that go? He go, boom, I'm finna hit.
I'm going to hit Big U.
Okay, but
Big U go hit all of us.
Yeah, they can't get nothing. They ain't doing too much out here, man.
Hey, them niggas got to figure out their situation or they fuck up all the money.
Okay.
Tip could hit Trick in the Midwest.
Gotcha.
Trick got hit network.
Okay.
Nigga hit the niggas on the East Coast. They got their network.
Okay.
But what has to, I'm not saying that's the solution. I'm saying
no, you got to do something.
We have to do something in these situations that be this obvious to save young men from themselves.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Hey, man.
How does that manifest in real time? Because obviously, if one party, because you're talking now about talking to like the party that got hit, you know, in part. So there's obvious, like the perpetrators had in their minds reason enough to go do that. So
it's not just him. Like, see, this situation is unique and it's important because I think this is going to be a situation we're going to see happen a lot more. We're going to see this happen a lot more. But once it's this high level, you could call both sides in this situation. We could reach out. But I know a nigga that's the nigga big homie. Feel me? I know niggas that's big homies to both niggas. If I had, if I really, like, I'm also not one of the niggas posting rest in peace and all that. I'm just like, damn. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to capitalize socially off what happened to the man and nothing. I'm just like, shit. But it's people capitalizing off of what happened. It's people capitalizing socially off what happened to them, whether it's posting pictures of them, whether it's putting their music videos up, whether it's posting lyrics or saying positive things.
That's a great way to get likes and increase your followership.
I understand you capitalizing off another nigga death socially, but if you really love that person, you're going to try to preserve his life. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is the solution. I'm saying just that fast, I thought of something we could really do at the highest level if we saw it going bad like this.
I just want to know, like, how do you get somebody who has that much of a problem with a target to do that? To go, you know what? I don't care.
Because no matter who you think you is, you ain't that bad, nigga. I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be Jay Prince. Jay Prince still need a network of people to operate. He ain't bad enough to go. Jay Prince might be one of the most powerful black men that ever came from our ghettos. Any ghetto, feel me, around our eras. That don't mean he don't need a network of people to accomplish things. So if we looking at a situation that's going to cost all of us, it's like if we all slaves on the plantation. And one nigga, we trying to plan a breakout. And this nigga might be a bad nigga. He like, well, I'm finna tell master, y'all trying to break out. Man, we gonna come together and do something to that nigga. Man, you fucking with the plan. Like, this shit fucks with the plan. Okay. Eventually, people finna stop signing people that look like us. They gonna sign more people that look like Peter. And eventually, we be washed up out of this shit.
So you brought up JP.
Shout out to little JP.
I said JP like I know the nigga. I don't know that nigga. I like that nigga though, man. I got to get that book too. Yeah.
My guy.
So what about? Do you think he was? Do you think it even got to him?
I think he was aware, but he also ain't posted pictures talking about.
Oh, got you.
My nigga
okay,
Dolph.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, it's like me, where it's like you're not vested in the middle of it. You just looked at him. He squashed the beef that just happened right now.
That's what I was saying.
Between two niggas that wasn't gonna pinch each other.
Yeah.
Them two niggas, Drake and Ye, them niggas can't ain't gonna pinch each other.
Gonna make sure money.
But he did the thing because he thought about what happened. He realized this could benefit Larry Hoover. He kept it real with the corners, the streets. Larry Hoover from a whole nother country.
Yeah.
Nigga. Yeah. He understood the importance of Larry Hoover as his comrade.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why I respect Lil J. OG. Yeah. Like, I respect him because he goes out of his way.
Yeah.
Feel me? To make sure real ones benefit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's from me to legends like Larry Hoover, the Glasses, to anybody. Like, I love that nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga is such a great figure. I'm sure he did some shit to motherfuckers that motherfuckers wouldn't approve of, but I respect him. I feel like he does a good job. I think Big U does a good job getting his homeboys making a living.
Yeah.
Ain't like he can get niggas no crack. Ain't nobody smoking no crack.
Yeah.
So he getting niggas security jobs. He doing everything he can in his power to make a living and make sure his homies and his friends making a living. That's what I respect.
Yeah.
That's what our jobs is as rappers. I think when I expressed to you, when people couldn't understand why I want to leave Cash Money, I was making enough money for me to live good. Yeah. But none of my homeboys who in prison, I could do nothing to change their fortunes. Yeah. Something wrong. I'm not doing something right. Yeah. So that's our responsibility as Black people in this country. Like I tell Pete, they don't have that. Yeah. They all got an even chance. Us, we gotta move as one. Yeah. It's already fucked up. We already way behind the 8 ball. We starting off way. Them motherfuckers at 30, we at -20. Yeah. Feel me? So we don't have the luxury to act like them. Fuck. Just do what they want to do. Nigga, don't matter. Whatever you on, you white. You got as much chance as me if you white. Yeah. Feel me? That's Pete, nigga, white. Love you, Pete. A poor white person got as much chance as Pete. Now, you know, if you from where we from, you feel me? It's different. So we have to move together. We have to have some ideas together. We have to sacrifice a little for each other. Right. And if we don't, that's what selling out is. And really, we should cut your fucking throat because you're not any good for us as a community. Yeah, you bet. That's the point of this rap shit. Niggas, we should cut your fucking throat. You have no, bro, a sale that's not passing information is a worthless sale. What the fuck? What the fuck? Now, I'm not saying I get it if you've tried and nobody listening to you. Mac told me shit and I didn't listen to Mac 10. He was telling me some gang. Couple things I thought, you know what I mean, I had a better idea of it than him, which is crazy because he's been successful in his business. But it was some things he told me that was absolutely brilliant that I didn't understand. But his credit, he wasn't a worthless sale. Yeah. He passed me the information. Now, a sale that rejects information could be traumatized. Who knows? That motherfucker, like any other sale, the sale might got AIDS. It can't take the information. It might be sick or fucked up. And at that time, traumatized, you're not understanding what's going on.
Kind of the definition of a cancer. Huh? Almost the biological definition of a cancer and the proverbial definition.
Exactly, like cancer. So like even when I was talking to Mac, there were certain things, there was cancerous things inside of me that made me reject information. But I'm also in a better position, and I was able to call Mac 10 back and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasted your opportunity you gave me. I'm sorry that you paid me not to make you way more money. He like, gee, we made good money. No, we didn't, because I am worth a lot more if I wouldn't have been a cancerous sale. If I would have just took in information, man, we'd have laid the ball in the fucking hoop. It was still some things missing, but we'd have got way more money. Just listening to him probably would have got us an extra $4 million.
So you think a nigga that got his car shot up 100 fucking times,
he better listen to anybody,
and came back out,
he better listen
and
to
made
anybody.
A song about niggas.
He better.
You think he's listening?
100%.
Fuck no.
They told him 100 times,
and he wasn't listening. Came right out of getting shot 100 times. He came out and was really, like, "Fuck you niggas," and nah.
Yeah, but he would listen. He'd listen.
I don't think so.
I genuinely believe if I would have talked to that nigga and said, hey, man, I mean, it was only so much I could say because I don't know the dynamics of their situation. But
I mean, I think any nigga get shot at 100 times
is gonna listen. They gonna listen.
That nigga came straight out and made a season.
Because nobody is saying, nobody is giving. It's not about the songs that I'm tripping off of. It's not none of that. I'm not tripping off how you market yourself. I'm saying when it's a real threat at your life.
So them 100 bullets wasn't a real threat?
Yes, 100%. But I'm saying, so now you got to sit both parties down and have a real conversation because they finna fuck up the money. Mm. And Memphis is going to end up in a situation going through the same thing that California went through. What happened with Pac and Biggie on this side happened. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. Mm. You know, once one rapper died, motherfuckers start tripping, motherfuckers start targeting.
Man, it's bad.
So
they said some shit. I don't know how true this is, but I seen some shit. They said it was like the nigga cousin. Ended up being like this nigga cousin or somebody.
That did it to him?
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, and like, honestly, we don't know if it's.
No, I don't know nothing.
We don't know if it's,
definitely,
you know, the niggas who we've been having, you know, issues with, right? We don't know what's going on, but I'm saying it's been at a high level for long enough that hip hop as a community never interceded.
Let me ask you a question. Like, suppose it's a situation like a Pac and a Lane, right? And maybe it doesn't happen in the exact same 90-minute window, you know what I mean? But it's over a period of time where it's timed in. What are you going to tell a guy like, what you going to tell Lane to say, hey, dude, don't, nah. He's going to be like, the fuck I am.
Notice, I'm not saying that. not saying, see, street shit, that's a different thing because you haven't contributed to their life. That's the responsibility of the black church. I think the reason gangs and gang violence seems as fucked up as it is because people are in the most hopeless state that they've been in. And that's also the number one failure of the black community. The number one failure is the black church. That's the number one failure of the black community is the black church. White people have been consistently fucking over the rest of humanity forever. So they're doing as expected. The black church is supposed to be the backbone to each community. They're supposed to be intercede in that situation. Somebody watching your kid for free at the church. Your kid is in basketball program. Mook, how much you pay for your son to be in a football program?
$400 something.
A black church supposed to have that lined up. They supposed to put your kids in daycare, tutor, church, football, basketball year round. Right. That way, when you got some shit going on with some nigga, hey, Mook, come up here, sir. That's how the pastor talk. Hey,
Miss Shakir.
Shakir, come on up here.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you got all that shit going on. We need to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
Both of y'all kids in these programs, y'all need to figure this out, or y'all kids ain't finna be in this program. All these free programs, y'all, that's how you have influence. The reason your old lady and people can control you is because they have influence in your life. Your boss could tell you what to do because the paycheck. So if somebody is feeding your kids, got the after school program and the basketball program and all that, you don't want to pay this $2,000-$3,000 every year, you gonna listen. You know what? Hold up, sir, pastor, reverend. I've been trying. You gonna start trying to work it out. The reason, like we need to work this out. Because who got $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 a year to dedicate for each kid? Like, think about who the fuck is paying $500 to play football? They supposed to pay you. They sell tickets and you got to pay to get to the game. They got ice cream trucks and snack bars and shit. Everybody making money. Feel me? But that's because the black ain't doing this part. I'm really hard on the black church. Yeah. They are for sure the biggest failure. Everybody talk about gangs. I saw a little daggone fucking clubhouse. They were like hip hop has failed the black community. No, they haven't. They're a reflection of the black community. What's failing the black community? The number one thing. See, white people ain't failing. They doing what they do best. Fucking shit up. The black church should be doing a much better job of providing services in that center, in that community. It should be the center of it. They don't have no say in shit. When is the last time? Remember old movies and shit where the church would come in, they would have gang interventions at the church. Y'all come up to the church, nigga. Yeah. Be all at the church. Niggas be all in the pews, the pastor be talking. Now listen here, little J-Rock, J-Bone. I did this for your family. Yeah. That's when you start remembering them kids.
Original Gangsters, that movie was like that.
Get your ass to this church.
Yeah.
That is the cornerstone of the black community. That is the centerpiece.
So they the problem.
They are the fucking failures. They're not the problems. White people is the problem.
Okay.
But the church is the failure.
Yesterday you were talking about yesterday about doing more socially conscious stuff in the future, right?
Hell no. All my socially conscious.
Huh?
All my shit socially conscious. I feel socially conscious every time I do.
I thought you said something about your directing more in that vein yesterday. Maybe not. Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought that the most practical, like socially conscious rap entity ever, because they didn't talk about broad politics a lot, but like I always thought UGK was exceptional at that. And those guys spend a lot of time criticizing the church. There's a lot of songs they got. I don't even know that.
I don't know that, but I am comfortable in saying what I'm saying. I've read enough shit. I've been through the experiences to know that the problem is the black church as a failure. Now they're not the problem, failure.
Yeah.
See, white people been a problem historically. They some colonizing motherfuckers. They are not playing. They're around this motherfucker making every hood they hood. There's certain gangs that do that right now. I always call the neighborhood car the most colonizing niggas in the world. Them niggas go around colonizing communities. They got that from white folks. But the black church is the failure of our system. That's what's wrong with our system. They have no say, no input. They have no practical purpose for being here. A concert, they like Broadway. Like Broadway in New York and shit. They just have a play every Sunday and you leave that motherfucker feeling spiritually better going back to a fucked up situation.
They're like,
I realized today.
They're Ace Rothstein selling dreams for cash.
Yeah, every rapper is a fucking pastor. Every rapper is a pastor. And they was like, man, you know how easy it is, Pete, for me to sell hope as a rapper? I could sell niggas hope and inspiration fast. I'd rather sell education. I don't even want to sell it. I want to give you education for free. I don't want you to pay me. I don't want to inspire you. Shit is lost in inspiration. Niggas be talking about they trying to inspire to change the world. Nigga, I'm trying to educate you. I'm closer to what Elijah Muhammad and Farad and them was on. I'm not on that shit these other niggas on trying to inspire you or aspire you. Oh, I got a Benz, you can get a Benz. That is not no information, nigga. Yeah. Rap nigga. Yeah. If I can get one, you can get one. Man, that's gonna help 1 out of every 1,000 kids. Man, how about we teach niggas how to get the money? We teach them. Yeah. We educate them. That's what rap should be. So rap went from this space of educating to inspirational. Where all these niggas like, oh, I'm gonna inspire you. My nigga Khaled is my nigga. All his posts is inspirational. Nigga, you inspired me with a car that ain't got no roof. You showed me you can get it now. Nigga, that the fuck is that? And most of these niggas ain't inspiration. Most of these rap niggas is aspirational. As a rap nigga, I'm educational. You gonna listen to my shit, you gonna listen to Tupac Must Die, you gonna realize, oh yeah, no man is bigger than the program. If them niggas could do that to him, to Pac, one of the most important black men in the world because he intervened in some shit, it could happen to anybody. That's education. Yeah. Ain't gonna inspire you to be no gangbanger. Yeah. Tupac Must Die inspired you to be a gangbanger. You are fucked up. You need a therapist. Them niggas killed Tupac. And then I told you at the end, the nigga who killed Tupac got killed 2-3 years later. Yeah. There's nothing about that should make you want to be a gangbanger. Something is wrong with you if you were inspired to be a motherfucking gang member after watching that video.
You need a therapist, nigga.
For real. They need to call you, Mook. Call you a Glenn, cut it. Hey, oh shit, niggas crazy. Tupac Must Die don't inspire nobody. You better not be no gangbanger after watching that shit. That shit all got fucked up. A lot of niggas got killed in the video. I should have just started listening to niggas that got killed that was in the video. Every nigga that Lane was in the car with, include Lane, except one nigga got killed. So it's 4 niggas in the car. 3 of them niggas got killed. The niggas that was stomping Pac out, 3 or 4 of them niggas got killed. The nigga who killed Pac, he got killed. Pac got killed. Niggas didn't even live. That story fucked up. How are you inspired to be like, nigga? These niggas, these rap niggas is making inspirational shit and aspirational shit. Glasses Low as a rapper is making educational shit. I'm gonna tell you how this shit go. 1 + 1 = 2, nigga. Yeah.
Somebody saw, look, Tony Robbins makes a lot of money going up and telling people they can do it. If we put a drum beat behind that, we're going to make 10 times more money. We're going to crush Tony Robbins numbers. That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
Educational. Educating people is not really
you. I'm saying that's the other.
That's how I know we're not in a righteous society. Yeah. The teachers is the worst treated people in the world. If the most innate godly thing you can do is teach, you know, that's the most righteous, not misinformed, because misinformed ain't teaching. Misinformation is not informing, it's misinforming. So to teach and pass real, true, factual information is the most godly innate thing you could do. How do we pay them niggas the less?
Because they don't teach shit, and they get paid plenty. You get paid 6 figures for, like in California, you get paid $130,000 a year in real money, and to do what? Be 49th out of 50? No. Sorry.
Who get paid $130,000 a year?
That's how much they really get paid. They're so stupid, they don't even know how much they fucking get paid. And they're teaching our kids math. That's the fucking problem. You get $60,000 today. You get $75,000 in pension for that year's earnings when you retire, and you get all the other shit in between. You get the cost per teacher is like $130,000, $140,000 a year. That's why CalPERS is a multi-billion-dollar debt hole in the fucking state budget.
CalPERS, they get that. They get that working if you're working for the penitentiary in the county. They don't get CalPERS teachers at LAUSD, so I don't know nothing.
Well, they have their own pension fund thing, but that's a huge.
Even the 60,000 annually and the 70 for Pete is fucking cold.
Yeah, he's a fool.
This nigga here, god damn, you should be a rapper.
Yeah,
listen. Pete, so look,
I'm gonna rap about how much money all the other rappers make.
Exactly right. 60,000 is not enough.
No,
like in the 75,000 pension is cool, but that number should be done. This person is literally,
but they don't
as much as your parents are responsible for the rest of the world, next generation.
But they don't teach shit.
They shape the minds that's going to run the world.
Yeah.
That should be the highest paid person in society. Because if they
better start fucking teaching shit.
Well, shit, you can't teach it for 60,000. That's like a nigga want me to rap. I ain't gonna give you no crazy video for 60,000. Your video finna be me standing right in front of the house.
You can look at the curriculum for free. They don't teach shit. God damn. You can put anybody in. You can put anybody in there you want to. Pay them anything you want to. You can teach that shit curriculum. That ain't gonna help anybody make any fucking money.
Pete is ice cold, bro. You a real rap nigga, Pete.
Cold as fuck.
I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna come out with an album. I'm
gonna white Pimp C.
Damn right.
Damn right.
I'm gonna come out with an album and I'm gonna talk shit about how much every other rapper's shit costs. That guy's shit costs a fortune. All these other guys got all this money. Sons of bitches, fuck all these other rappers. That'll be my whole album. Talk about everyone. That guy's got $25 million. Fuck that guy. Track 2. That guy got $25 million. Fuck that guy. That was my whole album.
Man, I'm gone.